Today I'm making slow cooker apple butter. It's an easy recipe using one of my favorite fall cancer fighting foods, apples. This apple butter is a wonderful condiment for breakfast foods such as toast, English muffins, or oatmeal, or even on roasted meat such as pork tenderloin. Apples are a rich source of the dietary phytochemicals or plant chemicals, flavonoids, and polyphenols. These have antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer properties. Observational studies have even linked apple intake to a lower risk of estrogen receptor negative form of breast cancer. Apples are also a good source of pectin, which increases that feeling of fullness, so it's especially helpful if you're watching your weight. For this recipe, I'm using 3 pounds of apples, which for this kind of small to medium sized apple is about 8 or 9 apples. I've chosen to use all sweet varieties. This is Honeycrisp, as well as I've got Sweet Tango apples, both sweet varieties. But you could certainly use all of one variety or even mix it up with a more tart blend of apple in terms of Granny Smith. I've cored the apples and diced them into small pieces, but you notice I've left the peel on. Most of the nutrition and about 75% of the fiber intake of apples is in the peel, so we definitely want to leave that on and include that in our diet. And in this recipe, it's just really going to melt into the apple, so you won't really even notice that the peel is there, but you're getting all the good nutritional benefits of it. And I'm just going to put these in the slow cooker. If you use your slow cooker a lot, I highly recommend these slow cooker liners. They really just make cleanup so easy. You just take whatever you cooked in there out and then throw the liner away. And I've also started using these disposable cutting boards, which is nice to, again, just throw it away, not have to worry about washing, not having to worry about bacterial contamination or anything like that. It's just use it once, throw it away. So I've got my 3 pounds of apples. Also like these apple cores to make it a lot easier. For my seasonings, I've got a tablespoon of cinnamon, a ½ teaspoon of nutmeg, and a ¼ teaspoon of cloves, and then a pinch of salt. So that's going to go on top of the apples. And then for the sweetness, I've got 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. Just love that combination of maple with the apple flavor. And then a teaspoon of vanilla. I call that. So this is going to cook in our slow cooker on low for about 5 to 6 hours until the apples have kind of broken down some more and are very soft. Our apples have cooked and it smells wonderful. We have several options of blending the apple butter. If you like a chunky texture, you could use something like a potato masher where you're not getting it very smooth. You could put it in a blender, let it cool a little bit, and put it in a blender to get a very smooth texture. Or kind of in between those, you could use something like an immersion blender where you can really control how much texture you have to it. You can do it a little bit to keep it kind of chunky or do it longer to get a smoother texture. So I'm going to use the immersion blender. So this is the amount of apple butter you get from 3 pounds of apples. You can tell it really cooks down a lot, although this is a large jar. I like to have this on toast or English muffins, or even swirled into oatmeal. It's wonderful on a fall or winter morning. Even on roasted meats such as pork tenderloin, it's a wonderful condiment to that. The recipe can easily be doubled or even tripled depending on the size of your slow cooker. And you could jar it put it into smaller jars and gift that to family and friends. It's a wonderful and thoughtful gesture. It's sweet, a little spicy, and I love that little hint of maple flavoring coming through from the maple syrup. I hope you give this recipe a try.